Hey guys, uh, this will be the final video in my video series where I've been sharing my thoughts on all of the new Adidas Adidas NHL jerseys for the 2017-18 NHL season. Unfortunately, once again, I've had a lot of stuff going on outside of YouTube, and getting around to this video has taken me a long time. I'm going to do something that I have not done in a long time. When I do series, I usually like to do a recap, but I don't think I'm not going to bother with that in this case. I'm just going to get straight to the Pacific Division and finally get this video done. Now, I do apologize for once again having such a prolonged amount of time between videos, and especially for how long this series has taken. However, I've decided that instead of talking about it here, what I'm planning on doing is in the not too distant future, I'm planning on making a little video where I will be sharing a little bit of an update about me and about, of course, the future of this channel, because right now there's a lot of stuff that I have not done, and I think what I need to do is, before I get to any of that, I think I'll make a video and explain some of the stuff and some of my plans going forward. But anyways, in the meantime, let's not keep you guys waiting anymore. This is the final video in my series where I've been sharing all of my thoughts on all of the new Adidas jerseys. And after starting with the, I believe, Metropolitan Division, then going to the Atlantic Division, and then in my last video where I finally talked about the Central Division, actually, I split it into two parts because I wanted to talk about the major changes that Nashville, Colorado, and Minnesota made. So now, after doing those two little videos, breaking the Central into two parts, now I'm just going to do the Pacific Division in one video, in one shot right now. So here we go, folks. Before I get going, I also wanted to quickly throw in this picture here that I think Chris Creamer of sportslogos.net posted, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that one, but I found this picture a while back, and I wanted to show it because I know this is the first time we've ever got to see what the new Maple Leaf jerseys would look like if they were wearing their classic socks that they brought back all the way back 26 years ago in 1992. And you know what, guys? I want to give a shout out to Chris Creamer because I think it's a shame that the Maple Leafs got rid of those socks, because I think they would make this uniform look even better. And I'd like to see the Leafs bring these socks back. And I believe, yeah, I'm positive that Chris Creamer of sportslogos.net took this photo, and I think I saw it on his Twitter. I can't remember, it's been so long, but I just wish the Maple Leafs would at least bring these socks back. But anyway, moving on to the next video, I just wanted to take one more close-up look for you guys of the new Adi Zero jersey style with the perforated shoulders, the new Adi Zero collar, and the new pentagon. And if you're a first-time viewer, I hate these new Adi Zero collars. I think they're ugly. Now that I've seen the season, as the season has gone on, I understand why the collar is like that, but you know, I still think there's got to be a way that they can make the collars V-neck style like they had with Reebok again, because, you know, in my honest opinion, these crew neck collars are just hideous. I hate them with a passion, and I really hope that once we get into the off season that teams are going to start to make some alterations to them of some sort. That would be nice. But now, anyways, the first team in my series, or in this video that I will be talking about, is the Anaheim Ducks. Now, basically, the only difference in their jerseys this year is two things. Number one, obviously, the new collar. Number two, the Adidas 3 laces instead of of course, the Adidas 3 stripes. They couldn't do it for every jersey, which thank you, NHL, for not letting them do that. But they've decided to shove their 3 laces down our throats this season, which I don't like that at all. And the collars are obviously different. And another thing I'll point out as well is look at how much higher up on the shoulders the shoulder patches are now. That is one thing about Adidas, guys, that I just genuinely do not like. I wish they were lower down the shoulders like they were with Reebok. And another thing that I'm disappointed with is the fact that the Ducks actually did not pull the trigger and switch to their orange third jersey full time. I honestly believe that that was a nice happy medium between the Anaheim Ducks identity now and the original Mighty Ducks look. It was a wonderful tribute to the Mighty Ducks with a more traditional design and an orange jersey for Orange County. I mean, where the Ducks play. And I think that, hopefully we will at least see that jersey make a comeback next year as a third jersey, but I still think the Ducks should switch to it full time. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I did hear that the Ducks might be changing uniforms for next year, but so far, according to what I've heard, the Anaheim Ducks, the only change they might be making is adding a new third jersey. And at this point, I have heard that every team will be getting a new third jersey, but that sounds kind of fishy to me because Montreal has basically never had a third jersey. I know the Red Wings have never had a third jersey. I know New Jersey will have a third jersey now with their new ownership. I mean, look at what they've done to their uniforms. I mean, if they're willing to butcher their uniforms just for the sake of change, I mean, of course they're going to be willing to try out a third jersey. Hopefully it's better than their new home and away jerseys. I mean, they're not terrible, but the fact that they got rid of the waist striping and they made the arm striping so much bigger, they basically remind me of fashion shirts rather than jerseys. And if people disagree with me on that, that's fine. But yeah, the only thing that the Ducks basically haven't changed anything except for, of course, the new Adidas collars, which I thought the Reebok collars suited these jerseys much better. And I still think the Ducks should switch to orange full time and not the Oilers. But I will talk about Edmonton later on in this video. Now, the next team on my list is the Arizona Coyotes. Once again, the only change that they've made is the Adi Zero collar. And ironically, as much as I hate the Adi Zero collar, the truth is, I actually think the Coyotes' new collars are actually better than what they had last year with Reebok. Because if you think about it, Arizona had a brick red V-neck collar before. Now it's at least it's halfway around in black. The back half of the collar is now in black. I mean, I think it should be all the way around in black, but unfortunately, Arizona has decided otherwise, and these Adidas 3 laces stick out here like a sore thumb, which I guess it is what it is. It's something we're going to have to get used to, unfortunately, but hey, seeing them add black to the collar and leaving the jersey alone, I actually don't mind it. And the truth is, these new uniforms that Arizona got a couple years ago, they've actually really grown on me. And I definitely think they're better than what they replaced. So I'm glad that Arizona didn't change too much. But at the same time, though, I am hoping that at some point they will either add a third jersey or eventually find a way to add the Kachina striping around the waist. And if they added it to this jersey, I think it actually could look really, really quite nice. Now, as for the away jersey, once again, you got the red on the front half of the collar, and you got black all the way around, and a bit of black Adi Zero collar piping around here with a white insert. Once again, the Adidas 3 laces are prominent on the collar yet again. But once again, Arizona actually has got one of the better, in terms of Adidas collar treatment, they are one of the better looking teams in my honest opinion. But once again, though, I mean, I don't care for the lack of waist striping. So if they added a little bit of Kachina striping around the waist, in my opinion, it would take a half decent jersey, in my opinion, and actually make it a lot better. For this jersey, I like that the red is between the white and black, but here I wish that it was red down here where the white is, and where it's red it was in white. Basically, where flipping the red to where the white is and the white where the red is. I think that actually would look better, but unfortunately, Arizona actually did not do that. Moving on again to the Calgary Flames, I was excited when I heard that the Flames were finally getting new uniforms after the past decade of wearing these awful Reebok Edge jerseys with the vertical piping. And do I have another picture here of their old white jersey? Crap, I don't. I'm not going to try and find it either. But basically, the only change to the jersey itself that Calgary did was take the vertical piping off. Which, the truth is, these jerseys are an upgrade over what they've been wearing. But in my honest opinion, they are nowhere near what they should be, in my opinion. But the good news is no more vertical piping, and this has been a common theme with Adidas, and it's actually one of the good things about Adidas. But with Calgary, once again, just like the Ducks and just like the Coyotes, they are yet another team that has gone with this mock tie-down lacing, and because it's Adidas, of course, instead of getting a pair of mock tie laces, we've got 3 laces to represent the Adidas 3 stripes, which, yeah, thankfully they did not get to put the 3 stripes on the sides of every jersey, but they've still found a way to put 3 laces on the collars. And once again, I still don't understand how they have a Canadian flag on one shoulder patch and an Alberta flag on the other. Now, I know there was one person on one of my older videos that told me to F off because they thought the Alberta patch is awesome. I mean, to each their own. But for me, I think that the shoulder patches, having the Alberta flag on one patch and a Canadian flag as the other, in my opinion, it's weird, and I think it's actually pretty stupid. And that Alberta flag, in my opinion, sticks out like a sore thumb, and it kind of reminds me of an advertisement, and not in a good way. And any advertisement on a jersey, in my opinion, and if you haven't seen my older videos, is something that I think is unacceptable. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that here. But obviously with Calgary, their jerseys are the same except they have no more vertical piping. And of course they've got the new Adi Zero collar treatment. And they still haven't changed those goddamn flags off their shoulders. Like, who thought that was a good idea? My goodness. But anyways, there is one more change that they have made. And it is this. The Flames have changed their number and letter font, and it's more along the lines of their retro jersey that they've been wearing over the past few years, and their old Western cowboy shirt inspired third jersey that they got rid of, and when a couple seasons ago, or last season, to wear the retro jersey for the final year of Reebok's jersey contract with the NHL. So notice the Flames letter and number font is no longer in italics. They've had the italics since the mid-1990s. So seeing the Flames go back to this is definitely a step in the right direction. In my opinion, you definitely can't say that the Flames did not upgrade their uniforms, but once again, I can't emphasize it enough. They did not upgrade their uniforms enough. So here is a far, far better look of the new letter and number font without the italics. In my opinion, this is a massive upgrade for the Flames in terms of letter and numbering fonts. But as for the jersey design, it's a very, very little upgrade, which is a shame because if they really want to stick with red and black so damn bad, they could have at least come up with something more traditional, gone with something more along the lines of their cowboy shirt inspired third jersey that said Calgary on the front. Something around that line, even without a shoulder yoke, actually without it, would have been better than this. But hey, at least the Flames did something about their uniforms, even though they clearly did not do anywhere near enough, in my opinion. But also, this is the third jersey that I'm talking about, in case you've either forgotten or you don't, or you've never seen it before. I mean, something along the lines of this, obviously without the shoulder yoke, because in my opinion, these look too much like the Devils' home jersey, even though for an alternate, I thought it was actually not too bad. But I'll quickly nitpick for a second here on a random note, but one thing I hated about this jersey is that the fact that the arm striping did not go all the way around the jersey. And I don't know if everyone knows that. I actually did not know that until about a year or two after the Flames unveiled this. And let me tell you, once I found out, I was just like, oh my God, who thought that was a good idea? I see that with Nike's double IHF jerseys for like World Junior events, or I've even seen them at the Olympics. It's like, why can't you make the striping go all the way around? That is a huge pet peeve of mine. But, and another thing about this jersey too, you see how it's black, white, gold, black? Why couldn't they have had that little bit of black past the gold stripe there on the arms? Anyway, I'm not going to get into it any further because I still have a lot to talk about, but you know what I mean. So this is now a photo of what the Flames letter and number font was with Reebok last year. They had the italics, and let me tell you, I think this is much, much better. So I'm very happy that the Flames at least did something to improve their uniforms a little bit, even though I think they should have gone retro full-time. I know there's at least one subscriber of mine who disagrees with me on that, and you know who you are, but I still think the Flames should have done more than just remove vertical piping off of these jerseys and change the letter and number font away from italics for the first time in 20 years. Now, another thing I wish the Flames would have done if they're going to keep these jerseys is they should have at least taken the third jersey shoulder logo from this jersey and put it on the shoulders of these, or even the horse head. But I'd much prefer the shoulders off of these, the shoulder logo. But anyway, I just want to show you guys this real quick because, in my opinion, I mean, if you look at this, to me, this is the best Flames jersey. Best Flames jersey, away jersey that they've ever had. Well, I know when they wore this was considered their home jersey. But anyway, I mean, you look at this and you look at these. I just think this is so much better. Now, here's a better look at their last true alternate jersey, which wasn't just a throwback, but a new design altogether, eh? But I call this the cowboy shirt inspired jersey. You've got the very special, one-of-a-kind jersey lace-up style, because I say that because they were the only team that used this massive, truly unique lace-up collar style on the front of the jersey. But you see how the letter and number font is straight and not italicized? It's nice to see that the Flames took that from this third jersey and put that on their new jerseys, or their slightly updated jerseys. But the shoulder patch, I wish they would have put that on from this jersey, at least on the shoulders of their updated Adidas jerseys. I think that would have really helped give those jerseys a decent enough upgrade that if they're not going to switch to a new design or go retro full-time, which I think they should, at least it would have been enough to say, hey, this is definitely an upgrade. So it's a bit of a shame that they never did that. I meant to say a more significant upgrade. But anyways, here's a quick look at the back of their updated away jerseys for this year. No longer italicized. I think it is so much better. And there's the Oilers' new home jersey, which I will be getting to in just a moment here. So, speaking of the devil, no, I'm just kidding. Just a figure of speech to you Oiler fans out there. This was the preview of the Oilers' new jersey for this year. And this is a very good shot of the Oilers' new home jersey. So the difference between this and their WHA third jersey from last year is, number one, the orange is brighter. Number two, instead of royal blue, they've brought back navy blue for the first time, basically since the last time they wore their Reebok Edge monstrosity of a navy blue jersey as an alternate for 1 year before they finally got rid of it. And am I ever glad that they did? So, navy blue like the 90s and 2000s, and a little bit earlier on in this decade as well, in the very early part of this decade, the navy blue is now back, and the Oilers have now gone to wearing orange full time, and the orange is now even a little bit brighter than the WHA jersey from last year was. Now, another key difference to note is the striping. The striping is no longer a full block of blue with a pair of white stripes on either side of it. Now it's a white stripe, a bit of orange, navy blue, a bit of orange, and a white stripe. Clearly this is a traditional jersey design, and on top of that, you can clearly tell that the Oilers did a good job of paying homage to their Wayne Gretzky era jerseys by having the exact same striping. So although I'm disappointed that the Oilers did switch to orange as their full-time color now instead of royal blue, in my opinion, you do need to give the Oilers a bit of a tip of the hat, because they did decide for the most part, they've stuck to the Gretzky era look, except for going with orange as the full-time color and switching from royal to navy blue. And in this case, I understand it, because when you look at this bright orange, the navy blue contrasts it much, much better than royal blue. And also, I understand the argument that the Oilers' now retired royal blue home jersey is similar to the Islanders' classic home jersey. But you know what, guys? Take a look at them side by side. You be the judge. This is the Islanders' home jersey. This is the Oilers' now retired royal blue home jersey, their old home jersey. And look at that beautiful orange shoulder yoke on the Oilers' home jersey. If that isn't enough to tell these two teams apart, and of course adding in the fact that they're both in opposite conferences, I don't know what is. I think the Oilers jersey is more than different enough that it can be in the NHL as the Oilers home jersey alongside the Islanders' beautiful royal blue home jersey that they have. And let me tell you guys, I know it's a matter of opinion, but I love this jersey. I mean, I'm not saying that their new home jersey is bad. I think it's good. But let me tell you guys, with the history behind this jersey and with just the look of it, I think it's great. And unfortunately, I think their new home jersey is nowhere near as good as this. At least in my personal opinion. You know, obviously this would help you stand out from the Islanders, but I still think that what the Oilers should have done is they should have just left their uniforms alone and brought this out next year as a third jersey. Now, before I start to talk a little bit more about the Oilers' new uniforms, I want to talk about their away jersey first. Now, the good news with the Oilers away jersey is that it's basically the same design as last year with the new orange and the new navy blue and, of course, the new Adi Zero collars, of course. And let me tell you guys, one thing, although I wish the Oilers would have left their jerseys alone, the fact that the Oilers have basically only made slight alterations to their away jersey and kept the same striping from their Gretzky era jerseys for this one and their new home jersey. I think for getting new uniforms, the Oilers did a really good job of staying true to their classic look, and I'm glad that they did, because I think I may be in the minority in this one. I probably am, but my favorite jersey that the Oilers brought out this year, in my opinion, is the away jersey, because I really like how it's basically the exact same as the original white jersey. I mean, yes, obviously the blue's different. Obviously the orange is a bit brighter. But I'm very, very happy that Edmonton basically left the away jersey alone except for changing the colors. So you know what? It makes it a lot easier for me to accept the fact that they've decided to go with orange full-time instead of blue. And you know what? Even if you dislike the new orange jersey, hey, at least you can't say, in my opinion, it's tough to say that the away jersey sucks. In fact, for me, I can't say it because I think it still looks fantastic. I really do feel that way. Now, this is the back of the Oilers jersey, and this is their new numbers and letters on the back in navy blue with orange trim. The letters on the back are no longer just blue. They are now blue with orange trim, for the first time since the early 1980s. And as for the numbers, there is no longer a double outline. There is no more double outline. It's just navy blue with perforations in the numbers, which I guess it's meant to make the numbers lighter. That's why they've got them there. And they've just got solid navy blue numbers with orange trim. And it's the exact same on their home jersey, except the navy blue numbers are surrounded by white trim. And no more double outlines on them either. And for the names on the back of their home jersey, they are now white with navy blue trim. Which personally, I think that was the right call by the Oilers. And one thing I do like about their new orange jersey is that we no longer have shoulder numbers on them. That's definitely a plus in my opinion. As well as the fact that the Oilers did such a great job of integrating the new Adi Zero collars to their new jerseys. So with this jersey, also note that the pants are slightly different. The stripes are now simple. They now are the exact same as what the Chicago Blackhawks wear. And personally, I think the Oilers did a great job with that. Do I have a better picture of it here? So you can see it here. I'll just look for my other picture here if I can find it. This was their Oilers jersey here. But also if you look at the Oilers breezers here, they go down and then they shoot out. The Oilers' new uniforms no longer have that. They're just simple. And personally, I think it works here. I actually like it. And, you know, for the Edmonton Oilers, although I wish they would not have switched to orange, you know, for me, I feel it's I feel it's almost impossible to say that their new jerseys suck. Because I don't think their new jerseys suck at all. I actually think that the Oilers did a really good job. But, and here's another shot of Connor McDavid here, in another photo that I found. And also, once again, I want to show the away jersey on the ice. Once again, I like it because it's basically extremely similar, extremely close to what they were wearing last year. And for me, I really like that the Oilers basically stuck with that look, even though they've gone to navy blue and a lighter, more fluorescent shade of orange. Okay, with the Kings, I'll get to them shortly. But with the Edmonton Oilers, and here's another shot here, I want to say this. Although I think their new jerseys are definitely better than I was kind of concerned that they might be, the truth is, here's how I feel. Seeing the Oilers in orange all the time to me is just not right. It just does not look right to see the Oilers in orange after all these years. And yes, I understand that when the Oilers originally joined the World Hockey Association back in the 70s as the Alberta Oilers instead of the Edmonton Oilers, and this is before they became the Edmonton Oilers, I understand in their early season, or I think they're either their first season or the first 2 or 3 seasons, they wore the orange jerseys with royal blue on the shoulders and the shoulder numbers. So yes, the Oilers did originally start in the WHA with orange jerseys. But ever since then, their entire history in the National Hockey League has always been blue. They've always been Alberta's blue team. And even when they switched to navy blue and copper, which I know some people prefer that over the Gretzky jerseys, and that's fine, but to me, I think they looked absolutely horrendous. I hated every version of them. I gotta say this. Seeing the Oilers wearing orange as the main color is just not right. To me, I always liked the fact that Calgary is Alberta's red team and Edmonton's Alberta's blue team. So seeing the Flames in red and the Oilers in orange, I don't like that. I don't like how the Flames have always except for a couple years in the early 2000s, where they were wearing black full-time and no red at all, which was a horrible decision. I can't believe the Flames actually did that. So it was great that they brought in their red jersey that they wore the last time they were in the Stanley Cup Finals against Tampa Bay. That jersey's much better than the horse, in my opinion. But I'm not going to get into that. But with this Oilers jersey, you know, the away jersey, I really have no critiques on, except that I wish it was the one that they were wearing last year and not the new one. But with this jersey, one thing that I notice is that the orange is so bright. And one thing that I don't like is that there's so much of the orange. And I think what they should have done is, if they were going to copy their home jersey in the new orange and blue, what they should have done is they should have had navy blue on the cuffs of the arms. And I think if the Oilers would have just done that, this jersey, even though it's not my preferred choice for a new home jersey for Edmonton, it would have added a lot of color contrast, and I think it would have looked a lot better, in my honest opinion. Now, another thing that I don't like is the fact that when I see the Oilers home jersey from a distance, especially when I look at their helmets, It's almost like they're wearing orange and black. And I don't know, and when I see them up close, of course I can tell that they're navy blue. But when I see them from a distance on TV, sometimes it looks like they're wearing black. And another thing I don't like is this thin navy blue stripe with a pair of white stripes on either side and orange in the middle. It just, I don't like the spacing. What it should have been is it should have been the exact same striping as the WHA jersey, where it was full-on blue with a pair of white stripes on either side. And you see what I mean about the orange on the cuffs of this jersey? It added so much color contrast, and that's why I love this jersey. And I still think this jersey is vastly superior to their new home jersey. And also, see what I mean about the striping? I wish the Oilers would have just carried this striping over. And to be honest, although I think I do really like the new orange, and the navy blue on it makes a lot of sense to help contrast it, I still think this royal blue heavy orange WHA throwback is better. I actually think it would have been nice to see the Oilers take the numbers from the shoulders, put them on the arms, and bring out the matching white jersey from this with the orange shoulder yoke if they were going to go orange full time. I mean, as I say that, I love their new away jersey, and I don't think their new home jersey sucks. But for me, seeing the Oilers wearing orange as their main color now just isn't right. I mean, yes, the only reason why the orange jersey was popular when they brought it out a couple years ago as, well, not this one, but their WHA throwback, was for two reasons. Number one, it's a beautiful jersey. Number two, the Oilers have never had an alternate jersey that hasn't been blue until the past few years. So of course, when they bring out a new color and it's a beautiful jersey, of course it's going to sell like hotcakes. So, but to me, this is a downgraded version of the WHA jersey. And I still think it's nice, and I do really like their new away jersey. But I just can't get behind this new look, and I hope the Oilers go back to royal blue and orange. To me, that's the best look they've ever had. And you know what? I mean, if the Oilers decided to keep this as a third jersey and add some navy blue to the cuffs of the arms, I think it'd be a terrific third jersey. When I see it on the ice, it's a terrific third jersey, but for me, it should not be the Oilers' new home jersey. I'm sorry. I agree with all of you who feel that the Oilers should have left their friggin' jerseys alone. Now, moving on to the Los Angeles Kings. The collar design is different. Their home jersey now has a bit of gray on the back of the collar. But this is one thing about Adidas that I don't care for. The vertical piping comes up to here and then it comes to a grinding halt, and then it goes straight across, or a little bit on an angle, but I don't like that about Adidas. And one thing I wish the Los Angeles Kings would have done is that if they're not going to go back to the Gretzky era jerseys, which are my favorite Kings jerseys, especially now that the Kings have won 2 cups in black and white and silver, they should have at least added a waist stripe to match the arms on their home jersey. That to me would be a massive upgrade. And I don't blame the Kings for wanting to keep these jerseys. I mean, they won 2 Stanley Cups in them. But, you know, they could have at least added a waist stripe to their home jersey. It's a shame that they did not do that, in my opinion. But anyways, I'm kind of excited to see what they come up with for a third jersey next year, because I would not be against seeing their 50th anniversary jersey being their third jersey next year. Because I honestly thought it was a half-decent jersey last year, and I think it would actually be a real nice third jersey, at least in my opinion. And I do want to see a form blue and gold, either their gold throwback or their purple throwback, make a comeback too. Hopefully the Kings will bring one of their throwbacks out for a game or two in the near future again. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. But besides that, the Kings did not change anything. Moving on to the San Jose Sharks. Unfortunately, their home and away jerseys are the exact same, except, however, their collar on their home jersey now has a bit of black on the back half. Why couldn't they have just made it black entirely? The new Addy Zero collar, I'm not going to get into it. See, and one thing about these Sharks jerseys that I've never understood is why there's a thin orange stripe here, but it's not on the other side. There isn't a second one down here as well. And if they were just going to have one orange stripe, why not put it in the middle, whereas white, black, orange, black, white? I mean, would that not look better? I mean, at least if you're not going to have any friggin' waist striping, at least make your arm striping not be such a head scratcher. But yeah, the main change for the Sharks is the new shoulder patch, and personally, I'm curious to see this on what it looks like on a jersey as the main crest. I actually don't think that's a bad logo, but I have heard some rumors that the Sharks may be testing the waters to potentially make this logo their new primary logo. It's not terrible. I do like it better than their current logo, but the thing is, I can't get behind it because it doesn't have the triangle. And I know some people may disagree with me on that, but that triangle behind the Sharks logo is a staple in the Sharks look. It's as much of a classic to the Sharks look as their teal home jerseys. And with the Sharks getting a new third next year, I just hope it isn't this half-finished look that we've had with the Sharks for the past few years. I really hope that their new third jersey has at least some waist striping of some sort. They gotta do something because their current look is so damn boring. But anyway, so this is the shoulder patch logo on their home jersey now, and this is the shoulder patch logo on their away jersey now. Once again, the collar looks hideous, but we can't do much about that. So I'm curious to see a new third jersey with this logo on the front, but I still can't get behind it because, once again, the triangle behind the Sharks logo and the broken hockey stick to me are a classic part of the Sharks Shark logo, and for me it's just not the same without it. But I definitely am excited to see this jersey on a future, or this logo on a future third jersey. And on top of that, I hear the original Finn logo from the early 90s maybe making a comeback as well for a third jersey next year. So I can't wait to see what San Jose has come up with, because I really do hope that it is an improvement over what they're wearing right now, because these are boring as hell and they need to do something about their jerseys bad. So, and then of course this was their collar design from last year. I like it better than the new one, and they had the full fin, the full shark on the shoulders, which is the full version of this logo. It looked great on their long-time black third jersey, but I'd like to see, at this point, their jerseys are so boring. I'd love to see this on the front of a new jersey just to see something different. Now anyways, moving on to the Vancouver Canucks. They've actually kept their jerseys the exact same, but they are actually, oh my goodness, did I forget something? Okay, is there something that I'm forgetting? No, because I'm just wondering about the sock striping. That's the only thing, because for a second I had a flashback to when I talked about the Maple Leafs earlier in this video. But with the Vancouver Canucks, they are one of a few teams now just to join the Boston Bruins and the other team as well, the Toronto Maple Leafs in recent years, to have the sock striping match the arms and the waist. So the only change the Canucks made was not to the jersey, but to the uniform, or to the socks, because their sock striping had the same striping as their longtime third jersey, which I think is much nicer than their current home jersey. I liked it better. And the away jersey sock striping was basically the exact same as their away their longtime third jersey, except in white, with I think it was a pair of blue stripes and then a green stripe in the middle, and then a pair of white stripes on the home jersey with a bit of blue between them and green in the center. But now the sock striping matches the striping on the home and away jerseys' arms and waists. And personally, I think that's actually an upgrade. I'm not going to bother showing you guys a picture of the Canucks full Addy Zero uniforms with this updated sock style, because I don't think it's necessary. But the only thing they've done is the new collars, which, once again, they do kind of wreck the jersey a little bit for me. I think if the collars were still the V-neck, Reebok style V-necks, that would have been better. And the shoulder patches are higher up on the jersey. I don't like that either, but still, overall, the Canucks uniforms are not terrible. They were one of the better looking teams when Reebok first took over the NHL, and I definitely much prefer their away jersey over their home jersey. And I'm actually hoping that they will have a new alternate next year, or at least bring back their long-time third jersey. I thought it was a real nice jersey. But I actually would like to see the Canucks finally attempt a green jersey. But with the rumor with Seattle getting a team soon, I don't know if that's actually ever going to happen. But who knows? I'd be curious to see what their new third jersey is like next year, because I'm sure they'll have one. But finally, in my series, after all this time, last but not least, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And yes, I know they're called Vegas, but I think they should be called Las Vegas. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. This is their new away jersey, and this is their new home jersey. Now, I know some people have said online that they kind of are eerily similar to Colorado's Stadium Series jersey, but here's what I'm going to say about it. I do not care. Now, with the Golden Knights, I got to say this. I honestly was shocked when I saw these, because I am so shocked at how traditional the style of these jerseys are. I thought Las Vegas was going to go with shoulder numbers on a jersey, a half-finished look with no waist striping, and they've pleasantly surprised me. And for me, the biggest surprise of all is the fact that their new logo actually doesn't look all that bad on their new jerseys. I actually think it looks half decent. Is it my favorite logo in the world? Hell no. I still think it's a love child between the Ottawa Senators and the Los Angeles Kings logos. But let me tell you, when I look at these new uniforms, it's not bad. And I love this shade of gold. And look at this embroidery that they have on the arms now. Very, very well done. I mean, I can't believe the fact that Las Vegas brought out these uniforms with a brand new ultra-modern color in steel gray with a traditional design. Very impressive. And now also note that the numbers on their away jersey are in gray. Very different. So just like the Sharks did in the early 90s, the Golden Knights have become the first NHL team in over 25 years to enter the NHL with a brand new, unique color with steel gray. Now also note another shot of the embroidery on the arms and the perforations on their numbers. Now also notice the embroidery in their logo. They've taken a plain logo, they've given a real nice bit of pizzazz to it. Wonderful job by the Golden Knights. Very, very nicely done. And I still think their logo is not the greatest, but on these jerseys, it actually doesn't look all that bad, let me tell you. The away jersey, it's a little bit gray heavy for me. The away gloves I could do without. I think they'd be better in black, but I do tip my hat to Vegas for trying to be unique with the white gloves and the gray heavy away jersey. And I love that shoulder patch. Absolutely love the shoulder patch. Very well done as well. The star from the Vegas sign with the interlocking swords. Wonderful, wonderful shoulder patch. One of the best in the NHL in my opinion. Very nicely done. The red accents on the jersey itself, the red stripes on the arms seem a little bit out of place to me. But on the socks as well, very nice. But also, one thing about the Golden Knights' new uniforms, and thankfully they never went with white gloves at home. They've gone to black. Thank you, Las Vegas, for doing that. A couple things. Number one, the new gray jersey reminds me of the Canadian Football League's BC Lions gunmetal gray third jerseys from about 5 years ago. Very, very, very cool reminder for me, because I've always found these uniforms to be really cool, and I'm sorry if it's a bit random, but it's going to get to my next point in a sec here. But first off, another thing, the Golden Knights actually their new uniforms kind of give me a little bit of a resemblance, a bit of a flashback to the Vancouver Canucks of the 1990s, and I mean that in a good way. Because I absolutely love the Vancouver Canucks color scheme from the early to mid-90s of black, red, and gold. And seeing the Golden Knights bring those colors back while also bringing in steel gray and having steel gray home jerseys with black, red, and their own unique shade of gold, I think is an absolutely terrific. And I think the Golden Knights did a great job. Actually, I'll say a terrific job with their color scheme that they've selected for their uniforms. And I love this new shade of gold. It's between an old metallic-y gold and the type of golden yellow that we see with the Bruins and the Penguins. And let me tell you, it's a beautiful shade of gold, but my issue with this is one thing. This team is called the Golden Knights. They should have a gold jersey, and hopefully they will be wearing a gold jersey with that hue of gold that they've come up with in the not too distant future. Now, another thing as well, I like the white numbers, but I actually think it'd be kind of cool if they did what the BC Lions did and go with black numbers, even though they'd be a little bit more harder for the announcers to see. But the black on gray is something that I think looks really sharp. Black on gray here, for example, looks really sharp. But as I say that, the white looks pretty decent as well. And in terms of being easier to read for announcers, I do respect the Knights for doing that. I mean, for me, it's tough to complain about these. I mean, having this as their main full-time jersey is not my favorite number one choice. The dark gray isn't my favorite color, but the Golden Knights have done something completely unique here, and they deserve all the credit. And do I have any more photos? Personally, I do like their new away jersey, but I do wish that the gray on the arms and the gray around the waist was black. But once again, you got to give credit to them for trying to be unique and own the steel gray color. They've done a nice job. Are these my absolute favorite jerseys in the world? No. But are they my least favorite? Abso-freaking-lutely not. They've done a wonderful job in my opinion. Could they have been better? Yeah, I think the Golden Knights uniforms could have been a little bit better. As much as I absolutely have to tip my hat to the Knights for using steel gray helmets to be more unique, I think that if they would have gone with black helmets, just like the BC Lions of the Canadian Football League did with their dark gray alternate uniform here, I think the contrast from the black helmet would add an extra element to the jersey that I think would look fantastic and better than what it is now. Another thing as well, with their away jersey, as much as I love the idea of being unique with the gray on the arms, the gray numbers, and the gray around the waist on a white jersey, I think it would have looked better if the Golden Knights would have just had subbed all of that gray out for black instead. I think that would have looked better. Obviously, it would be less unique, but I think it would have looked better. To be honest, I'm not a huge lover of the steel gray on white. I think it looks fine. I think their away jersey is pretty decent, but I do think it would have been better if it was black instead of gray. Another thing as well, I think the white numbers actually look pretty decent, especially on the arms. But I'd be curious to see what this uniform would look like with black numbers instead of white ones. And with black captaincy patches with gold trim instead of white ones, because I don't know about you viewers out there, but I actually, ever since I've seen that BC Lions alternate uniform, I've really become a fan of the idea of black numbers on a dark gray jersey. I think it's a real sharp look. But as I say that, I mean, I'm not complaining. I still think that the white numbers on the gray jersey here for the Golden Knights actually look relatively decent. And I love the black, red, and gold. And on the dark gray. Very, very, very sharp. As much as steel gray is not my favorite choice for a full-time home jersey, I think it's a better color for a third jersey. I think the Golden Knights have done a real good job, and honestly, I'm not complaining. As much as I don't like their logo, I actually think it looks pretty decent on their jerseys, and I'm pleasantly surprised with how good it looks on their jerseys. I thought it was going to suck. By itself, I think the logo is not very good, but on these jerseys, it does look pretty damn decent in my opinion. And I am actually really impressed with what the Golden Knights came up with. Steel gray isn't my favorite choice for a full-time home jersey, but with these jerseys that they're wearing right now, I'm honestly not complaining. I would prefer black helmets instead of gray, but to be honest, guys, I think the Golden Knights, with both their home and their new away jersey, have done a real decent job. They've done a really good job, in my opinion. And let me tell you, the Golden Knights are one of the best looking first-year expansion teams that I have seen since, maybe I'd say the best looking since the year that the Florida Panthers and the Anaheim Mighty Ducks joined the NHL. That's for damn sure. Once again, very nicely done. I basically have no complaints at all. At first I didn't like them, and I still think gray is a nice color for a third jersey, not so much a home jersey, a full-time home jersey, but once again, I think the Golden Knights did a great job, and I really do hope that we will eventually get to see that gold color as the main color of a future third jersey. And once again, they remind me a little bit of the 90s Canucks, but I say that in the nicest way possible. That's a compliment. That's not saying that they copied it at all. Wonderful job. But anyways, you guys, with that, I'm sorry for the long video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series, and I will be back to making videos a little bit more consistently again in the not too distant future. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you guys think about the Golden Knights' new jerseys. I'd be curious to hear how you guys feel, and I'm sure you feel about the same way I do, that they were really well done. Anyways, you guys, I think I've talked long enough, and sorry for how long it took to get through this series. With that, you guys, take care, and of course, as I always say, bye for now, and thank you for watching.